Hey y'all, and welcome back to Malika on the Move. I am Malika, and today I am here to tell you that if you are a permanent or temporary resident of Mexico, you are entitled to a refund from the airline that you use to come to Mexico initially. Plus, if you're going back and forth to the US each and every time you return to Mexico, you are entitled to a refund. So stay tuned, you're going to want to hear this. Now, quite a few of you may already be familiar with this and already be applying to get your money, but a lot of people are not familiar with this process. The airlines don't necessarily make it very easy for you to know that you are entitled to this. So this is the purpose of me making this video, because I applied for my refund maybe a week ago, but I've already gotten my money. It's already credited back to my credit card. And so, we want our money, right? I know I want mine. So I want to show you how to go about getting that money. Now, when you come into Mexico as a temporary or permanent resident, now let me reiterate, Mexico. I didn't necessarily say Merida. It doesn't matter what state you're going into in Mexico. As long as you are a temporary or permanent resident, if you are a Mexican passport holder, an infant under 2 years old, or you're a diplomat and don't work for the US Embassy or the consulate, you qualify for this refund. Now, this also applies for Canadians coming into Mexico, but you have to come via the US. So this is from US to Mexico. And this is only entry. You may pay an exit tax to leave Mexico. That is not refundable. It is your entry tax that is charged in your airline ticket that you can get your refund back for. So let me clarify this for you. You may say, well, I didn't have my temporary residency when I came into Mexico initially. I just did the part in the consulate and I still needed to finish it up here. That doesn't matter. When you go to the consulate in the US and you finish the process and you get that sticker in your passport, you are a temporary resident of Mexico at that moment, and you do qualify. Okay, I have not left Mexico since I initially came here, and that is what my refund was based off of, even though when I sent in my documentation, my ID card is dated after the date of my flight, because I didn't get the ID card until I got to Mexico and went to the embassy. But that doesn't matter, because once you have that sticker in your passport, you are considered a resident of Mexico. So what I'm talking about is when you purchase your ticket online, the airlines don't know that you're a resident from Mexico. When you are filling the paperwork or the boxes out when you're buying your ticket and you're putting that you are a US citizen, maybe you're using a US address, and you buy your ticket when you go to the airport, you're checking in with your US passport. So they don't know. They're gonna charge you the money, right? And then I'm gonna put up a screenshot of my ticket, and you will see they don't make it simple to know that you're paying this. So what you're about to look at now, you'll see 4 boxes. One says DNI Tax. And then further down, you'll see International Departure and Arrival Tax. That is not what I'm talking about. I am speaking of the DNI tax, and that's what you'll see right here on the screen. Okay, so the DNI tax is, let me get this right, Derecho de no Inmigrante. That is DNI tax, Derecho de no inmigrante. That means that you're not an immigrant. And that's why they're charging you, or me, $39.70. But I am an immigrant but they don't know that. They didn't know that when I bought the ticket, right? So that is what you're going to be getting a refund on. Now, all the major carriers offer the refund. Each one has a different process for you to be able to get this refund back. And usually the major carriers are not going to give you a problem. Usually within maybe a week, you'll have your money in your bank account. When you talk about, and I'm talking Delta, United, American, and like Southwest or something like that. And I did see on a blog that Spirit didn't give people too many headaches. I don't know about Frontier, so that's something you're gonna have to check if you flew Frontier. And then Aeromexico will give you a problem. They'll let you process the thing, but they're gonna drag their feet. But the way around that is when you buy a ticket into Mexico, if you're flying Aeromexico, buy the ticket on the Delta website. Delta and Aeromexico are partners. It's a code share. So you'll be buying a Delta ticket, but just flying on an Aeromexico plane. And that way, if you have any issues, you're dealing with Delta, and they're pretty good about clearing up any issues, okay? So I'm gonna be speaking on my personal experience, and my airline was American Airline. But as I said, the process is somewhat similar for most of the airlines, so you'll have to go to their website and check. Some of them are going to have a form online that you'll fill out and attach documentation. Some of them will want you to fax it or email it, or you can always call customer service and find out exactly what the process is for you to submit for that refund. Now, as I did say, this does apply for Canadians, but you have to go through the United States. So I'm assuming they mean you have to be buying a ticket, or your ticketing would be going through the US, because it's not going to apply for just going nonstop from Canada to Mexico, only through the US. Okay, so here's my process. So when I actually bought the ticket, I did get with my receipt a some type of notice about you may be entitled to a refund, but I was too busy. I put that off to the side. But I did go back, and on American's website, they have a refunds tab, a refunds page. You'll go to, and here's the thing. I put in all of the information. They just ask you your name, your ticket number, date of travel, and then there's a drop-down box where you put why you feel you're entitled to a refund, and the reason was because of residency or immigration status or something like that. And then you have to attach a copy of the documentation, which will be your temporary or permanent residency card. Well, I did all of that, and then when I hit send, of course, the website don't work. I did it like 3 or 4 times, still it wouldn't go through, so I sent an email to the refunds department, because there was a tab on the American website, contact refunds, and I sent the email, and I said, how am I supposed to apply for a refund when your website don't work? This is my ticket number, here's my name, this is the reason why I'm applying. And they responded to me, and here's a screenshot of what was said. So then what I did was reply to the email with my upload of my identification, and you can see the next screenshot will be my refund that was processed, and it was fairly quickly, maybe 7 days or so. That, as you saw, that DNI tax of $39.70 went right back onto my American Express. Okay. Now, there are a few caveats, and I know that you're probably thinking, well, hell, you gotta, what do I need? And I don't have that, okay? So let me explain all that to you. For any of the airlines that you're going to apply for this refund for, you're going to need your ticket number. Now, a lot of people, and here's the beautiful thing. This is for up to 12 months. So you can go back. If you took 5 flights into Mexico and back to the US 5 times within a year, you can apply for the refund for each and every time you returned to Mexico or came to Mexico to begin with. Okay, so 1 year, but you need the ticket number. So a lot of people are saying, well, I don't have a ticket number for 8 months ago when I first got here, or I don't even know the confirmation number. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you there are some ways to find that information. It's not impossible. Okay, one of the main ways you can find your ticket number is if you have a frequent flyer account with a particular airline, whatever airline you flew on. All you have to do is log in to your frequent flyer account, and they usually have a record of all the previous flights that you've taken, and you can either request a receipt if you don't see the ticket number, and they'll send you a receipt with the ticket number on it. Or it may be already listed in that record of the previous flights that you've taken. The second way is you can look in emails. If you still have old emails, maybe you saved them or screenshotted them, where when you bought your ticket, they sent you that confirmation through the email. So maybe you may have that. Another way would be if you have any apps on your phone that you use to populate itineraries. For me, I personally use an app called TripIt. And when I get any type of travel related documents, airlines, hotels, rental cars, excursions, you take that confirmation email, you forward it to TripIt, and they will automatically populate you a itinerary, and all the confirmation numbers and contact information is there. And if your ticket number is not there, there is a space where you can put a note, and you can just jot your ticket number down inside of that note. And those trips in TripIt usually are there for years. Like I have some trips back from 2015 still in my TripIt app. So I know I can always go back to find out information about that. Another way that you can find a ticket number is whatever form of payment you used to buy that ticket. Usually they will put the ticket number when that transaction posts to your credit card. I'm not sure about debit card, but you can check. But for your credit card, I'm almost 100% sure. I know mine does. If I buy a ticket, it will have so-and-so airline. It will have the ticket number in the description of the transaction. And sometimes it will even have the destination, like where you're going from what airport to what airport. So you can go back through old credit card statements and see, and try your bank statements, your debit card. They may do that. Sometimes debit card statements nowadays or transactions are pretty detailed, so you may be able to find it that way. Last resort would be if you have the confirmation number. That would be your record locator number. That's that ABCDEFG whatever, usually 5-digit number. Maybe you can call the airline and you can say, hey, this is my old confirmation number. I need to find the ticket number from that flight. Tell them your information. Maybe they can give it. Okay, so I want to let you know that if you're processing a refund for multiple people under one record locator number. Okay, so let's just say the father or the mother, whoever, goes online and buys 4 tickets for their family to fly to Mexico. Mom, dad, 2 kids. Everybody has their temporary residency card because they've been living here for a while, or they just applied for it in the States, but they have that sticker in their passport. So they bought the tickets all together, so it's all included under one confirmation number, one record locator number. When you apply for these refunds, though, in order to get a refund for each person, you have to submit however many requests. So if you got 4 people in your family, you got to submit 4 separate requests, one for each ticket, because each ticket number is different. Even though the record locator number, the confirmation number is the same, each ticket number for each person is different. So you need to submit a refund for each person. But think about it, y'all. $40. You're a family of 4. You came to Mexico. That's $160 right there. You're owed, okay? Then let's just say you were here maybe 5-6 months and you decided to go home and visit grandma for the holidays and you came back to Merida. That's another $160 for a family of 4. It adds up. Or even if you're single and you fly back and forth to the US all the time to do whatever you do, that's $40 every time you're coming back into Mexico that you are owed that money. Now, there was this huge class action lawsuit about this particular issue because passport holders or residency holders, temporary and permanent, and also Mexican passport holders are entitled to this as well. We're complaining that the airline was taking this money from them, holding on to it, giving it to the Mexican government, or splitting it with the Mexican government, and not giving these people this money back when they shouldn't have been paying it. And this was like a multi-million-dollar class action lawsuit. This was, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago or something. I don't know the outcome of that, but that is the reason why the airlines kind of like, oh, you know, we might owe you some money, and then they're gonna leave it alone, you know. But if you don't know, you're just letting that money just float in the air. You're giving the money away that you shouldn't be giving away because it is owed to you. It is entitled to you because you are a resident of Mexico and you should not be paying a tourist tax. You should not be paying a derecho de no inmigrante because you are an inmigrante, okay? So all in all, this may take a little footwork on your behalf to figure out how to get this done. If you flew American, you know, I've already pasted that up on the screen. So that's pretty simple. You already know how to do that. But if you flew Delta, if you flew United, or some other airline, then maybe you might have to do a little research to find out exactly how to do this process. Now, I did see some blogs that said Delta is really good about giving your money back. They make it easy for you to apply for the refund. The same with United. So you just got to figure out what route you need to do, you know, to get that. And like I said, you're always going to have to upload a copy of your ID card, the copy of your temporary or permanent residency card, or your Mexican passport if you're a Mexican passport holder. Now, there is a way around paying this to begin with, in a sense, okay? So let's just say I'm here in Mexico. I do plan to go back to the States in February or so. I can change my residency when I buy my ticket. Okay, I can put that I'm a resident of Mexico. I put my Mexican address, Mexican phone number, all of that when I buy my ticket, and they shouldn't typically charge that fee. Now, whether they do or not, I don't know. But I've read in some blogs that some people get by not paying it that way. But see, the thing is, you don't know, okay? So, I mean, it's worth a try, but for me, I don't want my permanent address to be listed as Mexico because all of my personal business that I can't get here because of the mail situation, goes to the U.S. to a family member's home, and I just want to keep everything with that address. Plus, it's just too much to be remembering, okay? You know, when you get old, this don't work as well. So that may be a workaround if you are especially a large family and you're here in Mexico and you want to go back to the States, and say maybe you are flying one of those budget airlines and you don't want to take a chance that they're going to say, well, we don't know nothing about getting no refunds. So maybe you might want to use your Mexican address, but you're still flying on a US passport, so that might not work. So long story short, get your money. I know every time I go in and out of Mexico, I'm gonna get mine, even if it was $3, $4. Is $39.70 I paid. Now, I'm not saying everybody's tax will be that. I don't know if it is a across the board amount or if it is dependent on the price of the ticket. So some of the older blogs that I saw were talking about the tax was like $25. Now, whether it went up and it's $39.70 or whether I paid $39.70 because I flew first class, I don't know. But even if it was $3.70, I want my money. That's the type of person I am. I want it all. Anything I got coming to me, I want it. So I'm going to figure out how to get it back. But yeah, it took like, literally, I sent the email to American, like, how am I supposed to get my refund when your website don't work? They sent me the response email probably 2, maybe 3 days later. I sent in the information, and probably about 5 days later, that money was back on my credit card. So, hey, get your money. Now, this is just one occasion of me coming into Mexico. Can you imagine if you've been here a couple years and you frequently go back to the U.S. to visit friends or family or handle personal business or what have you, and then, you know, all of this money is owed to you. So get your money, get your money. So I hope this was helpful, y'all. And I do want to say, if you lasted this long, I probably should have said it in the beginning. I'm so sorry. But I do want to say that to everyone who gave me very, very kind well wishes for my health, I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all my subscribers or anybody who watches my video, whether you're subscribed or not, but you should be subscribed. It only takes a minute. Hit that button. It doesn't cost you anything, but it really greatly helps me. So, yeah, I just want to say thank you so much. It was very touching that so many people reached out and, you know, offered kind words and well wishes. And some people even sent emails asking if I needed anything, could they do anything for me? And that just really touches me to know that, you know, there are people out there that are decent people. So until we meet again, guys, keep moving. Oh, wait. What I wanted to say, if I didn't explain this process, if good enough, and if there's some confusion that you may still have, feel free to ask me a question in the comment box. I will try my best to answer it. Now, I'm not going to give you a whole book, but I will try my best to answer or maybe direct you somewhere to where you can find that answer. So yeah, that was that. So, okay, bye y'all.